Hello, are you able to hear me? Okay. Okay. Can you just see the screen also now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. You can see the screen also, right?
That's right.
Okay. Okay. So as we discussed yesterday that there are some 2, 3 more topics which are pending from this SD point of view. Like somebody was asking me if ATP, like how exactly ATP has been changed in terms of it will be handled in SAP S4 HANA, and then there was a pricing. I think both of these things we discussed earlier, but it was a theoretical discussion. So I'll just show you some of the screens, how exactly, because both the things, if we talk about the pricing conditions and if we talk about the available to promise, that is ATP, both the things from the functional point of view, there are no changes. Only the changes are related to the database point of view. So how exactly the data will be updated in the tables, the table level has been changed. So we'll see directly in SAP how exactly this will be handled. And before that, let's see what exactly we want to achieve. So I think we discussed this multiple times, even when we were discussing about the changes related to materials management. So we discussed this, the table which was getting updated earlier with the pricing conditions, it was table KO and V. And now if you do any transactions in related to, sorry, whenever you do any transactions into your purchase orders and sales orders, so whatever are the pricing conditions, instead of updating the table KO and V, the new table will be updated, that is the table PRCD underscore elements. So whatever purchase orders, whatever sales orders we will create in future, you will see that the tables which are getting updated, it is not KO and V anymore, but it is the table PRCD elements. The reason is that KO and V was a cluster table earlier, and to retrieve the data from the cluster table, it was a huge task, and like it was a slower in compared to when we talk about the transparent table. Okay, now mainly in all of the other areas, wherever there is change in the technical point of view, what SAP has done is basically they have changed the table from cluster to transparent with the same name. But this is one of the case in which the entire table name is also changed. So instead of using KO and V, the new table that will be used is PRCD elements. Now again, if we come to the basic question that we are discussing from day one, like if my table KO and V is not holding any data, and if I have already created some of the reports which are fetching the data from KO and V, what will be the impact in that particular report? So again, answer is same. Even if you are not using KO and V, even though KO and V is not going to have any data in it, but whenever you ask any information from KO and V, it will fetch the data from PRCD elements and the data will be available to you. Okay, so there will be no impact in the old reports that you have created based on KO and V. And also during the time of migration, whatever data is available in your KO and V table, even from the old documents point of view, obviously whenever you post new documents, they will flow directly to PRCD elements, but whenever you are migrating to SAP S4 HANA, even that time also the data will be automatically migrated from KO and V to PRCD elements. Okay, now let's see, we have already created some sales orders, and let's see where exactly the data is going, whether it is going to KO and V or it is moving to PRCD elements. Let me go to the SAP screen. So let's go to SE16N and let's try KO and V here. Okay, so if I just execute this, you'll find there is no data at all. Normally, as soon as you create any purchase order or any sales order with the conditions, you'll find the KO and V table is updated. Okay, I'll just tell you how exactly this happens. So let's take an example of table VBAK, which is my sales order header table. Okay, so whenever I post or whenever I create a sales document, there is a pricing condition record which is created here. Okay, so what is happening here is for each sales document, it is not creating multiple lines because there are multiple conditions. Okay, whatever are the conditions, it is going to store in the condition tables. So it will fetch the data from here, which condition record has been created in the table, and this record is checked in KONV, and then in KONV you will find all the different conditions which are applicable for this particular order. Okay, so if I just take this, for example, if I just take this condition, or maybe this one, and if I just go back to my KONV, now you will see you will not find anything. Even if I don't provide this, you will not find anything because this is not getting updated anymore. Okay, but if I just change the table here to PRCD elements, if I just execute this, you will find that all these conditions are available here, and whenever you post any document based upon these conditions, you will find that different condition types and the amounts are available per document. Okay, so let me take you to what we copied. I think we copied something here. Just a minute. What was the available table in VBAK? Let's do this. Okay, I think these are some of the records which are created not by us, by some. This may be created earlier. Let's see our records which we have created. So for example, sales organization S-log. Okay, and here you will find that this is a condition. This is a condition record. So if I just take this condition and go to PRCD element, so you will see there are 3 conditions available in this particular record, in this particular order. Okay, so let's say if you want to generate a report which is you exactly want what are the different conditions available in my order, or for example you want to have the complete bifurcation of the price. So in that case this is only possible through KONV, but now going forward KONV is not going to be used and it is going to be replaced by PRCD elements. So whenever you are creating a new report, it is suggested that instead of using KONV you should use PRCD elements, but at the same time if you already created some Z reports which are taking the data from KONV, no need to worry, the data will be fetched from KONV also, because it knows that the data which was available in KONV is now transferred to PRCD elements. Okay, I think Shakib, you were asking this question yesterday regarding the pricing condition. Do you have any other doubt in this topic?
No, Gaurav, it's okay.
This is exactly what you were talking about yesterday, right? Or this was something else?
No, it's okay.
This is Nipin. Can I ask a question?
Sure, Nipin, go ahead.
Yeah. So for new reports, when this new system is implemented for new reports, they would have to write queries on these tables in the same way as it were, or they were written for the previous table KONV, or there is some different technique that needs to be used for this?
Sorry, are you talking about the new tables that you are going to create now, or you are talking about the old tables?
No, I'm just asking. Okay, let me rehash that. So the new table PRCD underscore element is created in place of KONV, right? So,
yes.
Of course, the developers are used to writing KONV. The functional experts are used to refer KONV for any pricing related queries. So going forward, the the queries that need to be written on PRCD underscore elements will be exactly same as they were written on KONV, or is there going to be some new different way of writing queries?
No, it is going to be same. Instead of, see, normally what you do, if it is pretty much simple. So let's say you want to generate a report and you want to pick 3 columns from KONV. Okay.
Right.
Now instead of that, what you will write, instead of KONV, you will say, okay, this 3 columns from PRCD elements. Okay. So whatever other tables you are using in your query, other tables will remain as it is, while from the pricing condition point of view, instead of referring to KONV, you will refer to PRCD elements.
So what they have changed in this table from KONV, removed the cluster classification of the table and made it something different?
See, normally, yes, normally we have already seen there are a lot of tables which are removed as a tables and they are created as the views. But this is something different. This is this is not the same table or the same view which is being used. The name itself is different, right? So this is one of the exceptional case. But otherwise, the logic behind using this functionality, logic behind this changing of the table is same. That instead of touching the cluster table, which is very slower in performance, they want to make sure that instead of that we should create a table which is a transparent table and which gives the data very fast. So PRCD elements is has the properties of transparent table, which means you will be able to get the information faster. Apart from that, see, irrespective from the functional point of view, whether the data is getting stored in KONV or it is getting stored in PRCD elements, it is not going to make any difference in terms of functionality. But only thing is, because this KONV table is used quite a lot in our Z reports, because whenever we are talking about pricing conditions, it is always one table which is coming in our mind, that is KONV. So this is just to make sure that in future, whenever you are creating some new reports, instead of referring to KONV, it will be better if you directly refer to PRCD elements. And it should not happen that when you are going for a project and you suddenly find KONV is completely blank. So this is the answer for that. Instead of KONV, now you will find the data is available in PRCD elements, including the data which was already available in the system. It is not only for the new documents, for the old documents also. Once you implement SAP S/4HANA, whatever the data is available in KONV, that will be automatically available in PRCD elements.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, any other questions on pricing? Okay, next topic is available to promise. This is again one of the technical thing. So from the functional point of view, okay, let me tell you, I don't know how many of you are knowing what exactly is available to promise. It is straightforward availability check, which means, for example, let's say you are a manufacturing company, or let's say you are a distribution company, and now you are getting the sales order from the customer. Okay, and the delivery date is, let's say, 10 days from now. So when you create an order, you should be in a position to tell the customer whether yes, it is possible to deliver the material in 10 days or it is only possible after 12 days. Okay, and how will you make these calculations? These calculations will be made based upon how much you are expecting, like how much material you are expecting to come in this 10 days, plus how much material is already available, plus how many sales order you have already created. So let's say we'll take an example here. So let's say I have created a sales order, or maybe let's talk from the opening stock point of view. I have the opening stock of 10 units, and now I got a sales order for 5. Okay, and I'm expecting that in the next week I'll be getting 10 units which I'm going to purchase. So at the end of 7 days, if I deliver this 5 out of 10 which is already available and 10 which is going to come, so 20 minus 5, at the end of this week I'll be having the stock of 15 units. So if I'm getting the sales order and if customer is asking me, okay, at the end of this week can you provide me 25 units, so I should be in a position to tell yes or no. Okay, so this is exactly what is performed in the backend, and even when you create a sales order, you can perform the availability check, which will tell you whether the stock will be available by the delivery date or not. Okay, so the same functionality, from the functionality point of view, there is no change. Only thing is, what was happening till now is, whenever you create any line, it may be outgoing or it may be incoming. So whenever you are creating a purchase order with a delivery date, you will find this information is available in VBBE table, VBBE. Okay, so VBBE table is going to hold the information of the current stock. It is going to hold the information of all the purchase orders that you are going to create with quantity. It is also going to hold the information of whatever sales orders you have created. Okay, so let's say I have created 3 sales order and I want with the delivery date. So what VBB is going to do, for each and every line, it is going to add a line in VBBE. And apart from VBBE, there is another table called as VBBS. Again, the same concept, aggregation. Why it is required? To perform the aggregation. Aggregation means what? So for example, in a particular day, let's say delivery date is 30th of April. So we are in 24th of April now. I got some 5 different orders, okay, for a particular material, and all needs to be delivered on 30th of April. So already these 5 orders are available in VBBE because each and every line is coming in VBBE. What about the totals? So VBBS is going to perform the calculation of all these 5 different lines, and it will tell you, okay, on 30th of April for this material, total requirement is of 50 units. Okay, and based on this aggregated field, aggregated row which will be available in VBBS, your availability check will be performed. So which means whenever you perform the availability check, instead of taking the data from VBBE, it will take the data from VBBS because it is giving you the complete information in the aggregated manner. So again, we are coming to the same point that in SAP S/4HANA, we don't need any aggregates because we have the calculation engine of SAP HANA which is capable of performing all these calculations in the backend. Which means if the data is already available in VBBE, why should we store the data again in VBBS? That is not required, and that is the reason VBBS has been removed, and whatever availability check will be performed now, instead of performing it onto the VBBS, it will be performed on VBBE. Okay, let me show you this exactly how it is going to happen in SAP. Sorry, you were not able to see the PPT, right? I thought you were seeing the PPT. Okay. So I think CO09 is a transaction which is used for availability overview. So let's say I want to see the availability of this particular material. This is a plant, MRP area, and there are a lot of different checking rules that you can create based on which the calculations will be performed. So let's say this is a ST order. So if I just press enter, it will tell me the complete idea. It will give me the complete idea. So it is giving me as of today. Okay, so as of today, what it is saying, I can commit only 10 quantity, or maybe let me check just a minute. So you can see here PO items total on 22nd. On 22nd of April, total items which were expected, which are still not arrived because I have not done the GRN for that. So on 22nd of April, 80 units were expected. So this is PO, which means this is in. This quantity is going to come inside. Okay. Then on 23rd of April, I have created some customer orders, and I'm expecting that 70 quantity is going to go out. Okay. So what is happening is, I have the stock left of 10 units. So this much is going to come, this much is going to go out. So I'm left with this much stock at my storage location. Okay, so this is giving you the complete information of a particular availability of a particular material. Even if you go to sales order and based upon the calculations, the checking rules that you have created, it will show you during the time of creation of sales order itself whether you will be in the position to deliver this material on time or not. Okay, so what is happening now is, if you go into the backend, so there are two tables. One was VBBS, which was the totals tables. You can see here, sales requirement total records. Okay, so if I just execute this, it will not hold any data anymore, and maybe it is still available in the form of table here, but this will be completely removed and it will be available in the form of view in the future. Okay, so there are, see, whenever we are talking about all the tables that will be removed, we are seeing actually they are not completely removed. There are some tables which are still existing in simple logistics. So one of the table is this VBBS. Even though in the documents, uh, in the lectures, they are saying the same thing, that VBBS has been removed, but it is still not removed. But in the target architecture, it will be definitely removed. Target architecture means whatever new versions will come, most of the tables, which are the totals tables and all, they will be removed. But even if they are available today also, even if VBBS is available as a table, it is not holding any data. So technical point of view, it is still available, but it is not holding any data anymore. Okay, so what is VBBE then? So VBBE will give you the complete information line by line for each of, sorry, I think I should remove this storage location. Okay, so these are the number of sales orders. This is the sales requirement which is generated for this particular plant. Okay, and for this MRP area, which means we have seen there the total quantity it was showing is 70 units, and this is the reason there are 7 different orders which are open with quantity of 10 each, and that is the reason in the previous screen that we have seen, in which we see the availability check, it was showing that total 70 units need to be dispatched on 23rd of April. So it is picking the data from here. Only difference is earlier VBBS was storing the data only one line, 23rd total quantity should be available as 70. But that is no more required now, because SAP HANA database is capable of performing the calculations also in the backend, which means if the data is stored already in VBBE, there is no point storing the same data with performed aggregates into VBBS. Is this clear? So let's go to the PPT. Same thing is explained here. So table VBBS was containing, yeah.
So process-wise, there is no change, like prerequisites. So material, in material master and also a few in MRP use and all we activate it, right? So process-wise, there is any change, or it is is it the same?
No, process-wise, as I told you, even in MRP area, if you are maintaining, or maybe in the sales material master's sales view, if you are saying that availability check should be performed or not, that is going to be same. So for this material already we activated, I'll just show it to you. For this material we already activated that the check should be performed, and that is the reason we are able to perform the availability check.
That's why it is coming in CO09. So otherwise it will
Yes,
not come.
otherwise it will not come. So even when I was trying, it was throwing the error, but when I maintained that, then only it came to the yes. So sales organization. This is my storage location. So you can see here, not here, I think here, availability check 2, which means for individual requirement. So if you say here it is not required, no check, then this report will not work. So from the functionality point of view, there is no change. Only change is again from the technical point of view. Okay, again, this is aggregate, so there is no explanation required why the aggregates tables are removed. That is the whole idea of SAP S/4HANA, to remove all the aggregates and to remove all the indices.
Okay, sir.
Okay, any other questions related to availability
What you said just now, remove all the aggregates and other board
Indexes.
index.
Index tables. See, index tables are normally not used in logistics. There are not much index tables which are used in logistics, but there are a lot of tables which are used in financials. So I don't know if you are aware of, let's say, BSIS and BSS.
Give one example of index table.
Yeah, that's what I'm giving you. So are you aware of BSIS and BSAS?
Somewhat, not kind of.
Okay, let me think of some other example.
SD index table.
SD, see, in logistics there are not much of index tables. There are a lot of totals tables in MM and SD, but there are very few index tables in MM and SD. But when you talk about FI, there are a lot of index tables and there are very few totals tables.
What is the meaning in, just to explain the meaning?
Yeah, I'm explaining. See, better to understand the example. That's why, okay, I'll just tell you what exactly is BSIS. So for example, whenever you post any document in GL, you must be knowing the data is going to BSIG, right? The line item is going to BSIG.
Yeah.
Right? So apart from BSIG, the data is also flowing to BSIS and BSAS. I'll tell you what this is. So whenever we are talking about general ledger accounting, there are two type of line items. One are the open line items and other are the cleared line items. I think instead of BSIS, let me give you the example. You are from MM side or SD side?
Gaurav, the tables which are VAP, MA, VL, KPA, all these tables are also index tables. I think you gave example of these tables, I guess, couple lectures before.
Which table you are saying?
I'm saying VAP, MA, VA, KPA, those tables which store the material information at the aggregate level.
No, they are aggregate tables. See, there are two tables, aggregates and index. Let me give you the example. This is very pretty much simple. So, what I'm asking is, are you from SD or MM side?
SD.
SD. Okay. So you must be aware that you have FBL file and report, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In FBL file and report, you have three options. One is you can select a customer and you can say, I want to see the open items of this customer. Other is I want to see the cleared items of this customer, right?
Correct.
So what happens is, if you say I want to see the open items, the data is coming from BSID table. And if you want to see the cleared items, the data is coming from BSAD.
Okay.
So what is happening? The data is already stored in BSIG, right? All the information is available in BSIG. But apart from that also, all the open items are available in BSID also, and all the cleared items are available in BSAD also. Why this is required? Because if I pick the data directly from BSIG, the report will become slower. And that is the reason SAP has created the index tables, so that if you want to perform the reporting on open and cleared items, instead of touching BSIG table directly, touch the index tables. So there are lot of tables, index tables, which are available in FI side. Okay, but there are very few tables which are aggregates tables from FI, and that is completely reverse in MM and SD. Most of the tables are totals tables. But if you talk about SAP S/4HANA point of view, if you not only talk about from the logistics point of view, both of these tables will be removed. Index tables will be removed and aggregates tables will be removed. Is it clear?
Yeah. Okay, fine.
So the difference is, index tables are storing the data in the form of whether the particular item is open or closed or cleared. Okay. But when we are talking about aggregates and totals, aggregate and total is one and the same thing. Aggregate is something which is totaling the figures. So it is like if you have 5 different line items in one table and you are performing the totals, or you are aggregating all that 5 line items and you are storing the result in some new table, similar to what we are seeing now. So VBBE is what? It is storing 7 different line items, 10 quantity each. But once you see VBBS in ECC, you will find that VBBS is having only one line with the consolidated aggregated quantity, that is 70. Okay, and the target of SAP S/4HANA is to remove all these index tables and to remove all these totals tables, and that is the reason why This is one of the example where in order to remove the table VBBS, we are using this VBBE for all ATP going forward. Clear?
Yep.
Okay, any other questions? So you can see here, this is the table VBBS. It was containing the pre-aggregated sales requirement, and these were the two fields, OMENG and VMENG. One was the requested quantity and second was the confirmed quantity. So both of this were getting calculated and they were stored in a single line in VBBS. But with the use of SAP HANA, we do not need any pre-aggregations, and therefore this table is obsolete. So instead of VBBS, we will be using VBBE, where each ATP relevant requirement is explicitly stored, which means there are 7, in our case there were 7 different lines which were stored in VBBE. And the old ERP ATP check coding is redirected to use VBBE, which means even if you have written some Z code, again same thing, even if you have written some Z code, automatically whenever you ask any information from VBBS, the control will be transferred to VBBE and you will be getting the same information that you were getting earlier. Clear?
So what will happen to the performance of VBBE now?
Performance of VBBE, what will be the impact? I don't think there will be any impact on VBBE because that table was already available. Are you saying if I perform the calculations on VBBE, the performance may become slower? Do you mean that?
No, I'm just thinking on the lines that you said, like, we have these index tables or the aggregate tables so that, we could reduce the performance on the main table. So if VBBE was already existing and VBBS was already existing, I'm just wondering why they had to do this now and why didn't they do this before?
No, I see. This is again the same question. This you should have asked me on the first class itself. So when we are talking about the tables will be removed, there will be only one table, that is material doc. Then why in SAP there were all different tables till now? Why there were multiple aggregates tables which were storing the data at storage location level, at plant level? Why all these tables were there? The answer is our earlier databases, the traditional databases, Oracle, SQL Server, they were not able to perform the reportings faster because if you store the data at one place, they were not capable of handling these scenarios. With the use of columnar storage, with the use of SAP's in-memory platform, with the use of just a minute, in-memory, yes, columnar database, and obviously the calculation engine. Yes, I was missing this calculation engine. This calculation engine of SAP S/4HANA is very much sorry, I'm not getting the words. Okay, it is very much powerful. So what it does is, whenever you perform any calculation, for example, I have given you the example of only 7 lines, but practically do you think only 7 lines will be available in the system? No, there can be thousands of lines. Okay, so for example, for a particular day, for a particular material, if I have the sales orders and number of the sales order is more than 10,000, so in that case what will happen? So SAP HANA calculation engine is so powerful that it can perform all these calculations and it will make the summation of all the different line items, 10,000 line items, and it will give you the result within seconds. And this much thing was not available in the traditional databases, and that is the reason why at the end of each transaction 2 tables were getting updated. So let's say VBBE is updated with a line, automatically VBBS was also getting updated with plus 10 quantity. Okay, so what was happening for each and every transaction, there were 2 tables which were getting updated. Okay, and due to which obviously the time required to update 2 tables instead of 1 table will be more.
Got it, Gaurav. Thanks.
Okay, now I think talking about sales point of view, sales and distribution point of view, one topic which is remaining is sales order fulfillment cockpit. You will be definitely want to see that how sales order fulfillment cockpit works in SAP. So I'll just give you the overview. What exactly is sales order fulfillment cockpit? See, cockpit is what? Cockpit is something where you can see all different things. Okay, you can perform each and every activity in the sequence. Okay, it is like now if you are working on SAP GUI, what happens is you need to remember that okay, I need to perform this transaction first and then this transaction and finally this transaction. So all these transactions are available in different screens. But when we are talking about cockpit, it means it will give you the complete idea of entire sales process in a single screen. I will just give you the example. Let's say you are a sales manager. Sales manager means you are the approver, which means whatever will be the disputes, whatever will be the credit blocks, whatever will be the issues with the sales person, you will be a person who will be dealing with all these different issues. So for example, now if you want to see how many orders are blocked from the credit point of view, so you need to go to the particular transaction and see okay, this much orders are blocked. Okay, again if you want to see how many orders are in dispute, so again you need to go to the separate transaction code and you will be seeing okay, this much orders are in dispute. So what is happening is you need to physically go into a particular transaction and then only you will be able to see what is happening exactly. Okay, and you will not be able to take the decision immediately. Till the time you don't go to that transaction, you will not be able to see what exactly is happening. Unless you have some mails triggering onto your email ID, then it is possible that as soon as the mail is triggered, you can take the decision whether the particular sales order should be blocked from unblocked from credit or the particular dispute can be resolved. But if the mails are not coming, if you just consider SAP GUI, till the time you don't go on to the particular transaction, you will not be able to know what is exactly happening in your company. Right? So now what SAP has done is, as we've seen that with the use of SAP Fiori, you have different role-based transactions, different role-based apps which will be available to you in the form of SAP Fiori apps. Now, if you remember, we already discussed about what are SAP Fiori apps and what are the different types of SAP Fiori apps. Can anybody tell me, we discussed there are 3 types of SAP Fiori apps. What are they? Which 3 types of apps are available in SAP Fiori?
Types of apps means are you talking about catalog and all?
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about types of apps. Catalogs are something which is you can create on your own, right? Do you remember transactional apps, analytical apps, and fact sheets? Remember or not?
Yeah, it was configuration, analytical, and fact sheets.
Not configuration, transactional, analytical, and fact sheets. Transactional, analytical, and fact sheet. Transactional means whatever transactions you want to do. For example, you want to create a sales order. So create sales order is one of the app which is called as a transactional because you are performing some transaction. Similarly, you want to create some purchase order. Again, this is a transactional app. You want to book a supplier invoice, you want to book a purchase, you want to book the customer invoice, you want to perform the billing, you want to perform the delivery. All these things are transactional, right? You are actually performing some transactions in the system. The second type of app are analytical app. Analytical app means reporting. So for example, you are a manager and you want to see how many purchase orders have been created today, or what is the, if you just want to see the particular details of a particular purchase order. So this is just the analytical. You are not performing the transaction. You are just seeing the reports. So whatever apps are available for reporting purpose, they are called as analytical apps. While whatever are the apps are available to perform the transactions in the system, they are called as the transactional apps. There are third type of app. Third type of app is called as fact sheets. And if you remember, I talked about fact sheets and I told you this is nothing but it is like a dashboard. Dashboard is what? Let's say you are a sales manager. You want to see each and everything on a single screen. Okay, so let's say I just click on one app. Let's say sales order fulfillment app. If I just click on that, in the graphical format, it will give me the information. It will tell me, okay, this much orders are in dispute, this much orders are credit blocked, this sales order has been, this much sales orders have been already delivered, this much sales orders are still not been delivered. So if you just click on a particular app, you will be seeing, okay, for example, I want to see all the orders which are credit blocked. So if you just click on that, it will give you the complete list of different sales orders. Now you can take the decision whether a particular sales order should be approved, released, or rejected. Similarly, you go to the dispute, you'll find, okay, what type of dispute it is. And being a manager, if you are responsible to solve this dispute, you can talk to the customer and you will resolve this dispute so that it can be, your sales can be completed faster. Similarly, you can see, let's say only 1 hour is left for today. We are on Friday, and I can see there are 10 orders which are still not delivered. So if they are not delivered within 1 hour, the delivery will take place only after Monday. So in that case, you will lose this 2 days of time, because anyways, whenever you are going to send this material, then only you are going to generate the billing, and obviously there will be the cash flow issue for these 2 days. So all these decisions, which means as a sales manager, I'm just giving you the example of sales manager. This is valid for other departments also. But SAP, as of now, they have provided the sales order fulfillment cockpit, because the most important thing in any company is obviously the sales. Okay, so they provided the sales order fulfillment cockpit where you will be seeing each and every detail regarding your sales, so that you can perform all the transactions using a single screen. You don't need to go on different screens. In a single screen, you will be able to see the complete details, value-wise, quantity-wise. Okay, this particular sales order cockpit, this is currently not working in our server, but that will definitely work, because Fiori apps are all working properly. There are some very few apps which are not working. So this will definitely work. Maybe we'll see exactly how it works in the next session. But this is the overall idea. So when we are talking about sales order fulfillment cockpit, this is not a new technology. This is not a new functionality. Only thing is, you are getting the cockpit, which will help the salesperson to perform the transaction using the single screen, rather than going on to different screens, different transaction codes for all these different things. So he will get a one single page SAP Fiori Launchpad, which will tell him, okay, these are the different activities that you are responsible for, and please make sure that all these things are done. Okay, so this is about sales order fulfillment cockpit. Do you think apart from this, anything else is remaining which you want to see from the sales and distribution point of view? Who are there from sales point of view? Who are from SD? I think Shakib is one. Shakib has asked these two questions, so this are included today, and sales order will be covered in our next session. Do you think any other topic which we discussed during the overview of changes in SD that we are not covered in detail?
So this is Gauri. So I have a question. So you said that that's print output determination and all that. I mean, that was actually changed. So I just want to know that for this pricing, the access sequence and pricing routines and all that. So that condition technique. So all this is still the same, or for determining the price they are using something different in HANA?
No. Pricing determination is same. We have used the same pricing procedure what we used earlier here also in the SAP S/4HANA system also, and never in the they never talk about the changes in terms of the pricing procedure. Whatever are the changes in terms of pricing, it is only the table level changes.
Okay, condition techniques and all that is still same. Okay.
Yes. Even we configured this for our sample company code that we are using for training. So the same way we configured, there is no change from that point of view.
Another question was, it was not directly related to SD, But what happened to the bad jobs like those SM37, SM36? Because now the system is very fast and probably can fetch the data in like seconds, which actually earlier it was taking minutes and all that. So we still have all those bad job configurations as it is, or there is something different?
See, batch jobs as of today, they are still available. But again, in the target architecture, they are saying that all the batch jobs, whatever you are doing, they should not be available anymore. So, but it will take time because even from the SD and whatever, like whatever transactions we do, if you need the batch jobs, they are still available. So even if you try SM37 in the existing system, you will see whatever are the batch jobs that you have generated, they will be available there. But yes, you are right. Maybe in the future, when everything will be available on SAP S/4HANA, they may give up this functionality of batch jobs because everything can be generated faster.
And another thing is about the logistics execution. So this inbound delivery process, outbound delivery process, I mean, in all, I mean, there is no change at all, right?
Inbound delivery
They
process,
like
do
to
you
do
mean to
like
say regarding the uh, sales point of view?
yeah, sales point of view.
Yeah, there is no change.
Okay, and integration with warehouse management, like all those handling unit management and all that, that is also intact, or there is
Yes,
any
as I
change?
told you, yeah, as I told you, when you are talking about the warehouse management, the traditional warehouse management is as it is. So if you have integration which is available with the normal warehouse management, that is going to work as it is. Similarly, whatever changes will come in the extended warehouse management, they are going to come in future. So as of now, if you are using warehouse management in integration with SD, MM, it will work as it is, as it was working earlier.
Okay, so basically logistics execution, there is no change. That's what I understand.
Yes, and also Gauri, I will suggest because see, it will be good that if you do all these configurations on your own in the system. So
Okay,
this is a time where you will come up with lot of doubts because see, whatever we covered, like credit management, you will definitely come up with. You will say, okay, yes, credit management is not working in the old way. Similarly, if you see this pricing condition tables, if you see the material ledger, these are some of the things that you will notice when you do the configuration on your own. Okay,
okay.
but apart from that, the questions that you are asking that regarding, as you said, regarding the pricing procedure and all, once you configure the system, you will definitely realize that there is no change in terms of how the configuration was maintained earlier. Only changes in output management that we already discussed when the activity is already going on, because according to technical guy, it takes around 10 days to upgrade the server to the latest SPS1. So we stopped him on doing this activity on the same server that we are using. So he's doing this on the separate copy of the server. So once it will be available, we'll be seeing output management from the purchasing point of view and from the billing point of view also.
Okay.
Gaurav, about pricing simplification, one point is there which you mentioned, the maximum number of possible access in access sequence is increased from 99 to 999. So what
Yes.
exactly?
Okay. See, currently, if you are maintaining the pricing procedure, so yes, I think this is something which is, I'll not say this is completely changed, but this is providing you additional benefit of, instead of currently only 99 sequences you can maintain in the pricing procedure. This is a limit, right? So now instead of 99, you will be getting 999 sequences that you can maintain. When you create a pricing procedure, you maintain the sequence, right? So what is the maximum number of sequence that you can maintain in pricing? Currently it is 99. But now going forward in SAP S/4HANA, they are providing you that you can maintain additionally, you can maintain up to 999 access sequences. Guys, just give me a minute.
When you say access sequences, you mean accesses, right? Within an access sequence, you can provide 999 accesses.
Hello. Sorry, I'm back. Any questions? Okay, so what I'll suggest. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Again, about that query only. You need to say steps or say access sequence means. Can you please show it in the system? Means where exactly this provision was given. In terms of access sequence, not understood correctly.
Okay, let me show you. Can you see this?
No.
Sorry,
Yes,
sorry, I'm not. Sorry, just a minute. Yes, can you see now?
Yeah.
I mean this. So earlier there were only 99 access sequences that you were able to create. I'll just go back. I think I not shared the screen with you. So in the sales and distribution where we define these pricing conditions, there is something we defined as an access sequence. And here earlier we were able to only add 99 different sequences. But now we can add up to 999 sequences.
Gaurav, this is not the place. Can you select one of these? Any one of these? And now go to accesses folder.
Yes.
So here you could maintain, you see the number. Here you could maintain up to 99 only. For one access sequence, you could only maintain up to 99. And since they have opened the field columnar KOLNR for up to 999, you can maintain 999 accesses within one access sequence.
Okay, you mean to say here. So earlier it was only 00 to 99.
No, these are all tables. These are condition tables. In second column, I'm saying the number. The leftmost column, this one.
Yes, I mean to say here you will, in this table you can maintain up to 999 fields.
Okay. So first column is first column is the access number. So it has 4 accesses right now. Until now you could only maintain up to 99 accesses. And in simple logistics, this field has now been changed to 3 digits. So now you can accommodate 999. Each access represents one condition table. Here 005 is a combination of customer material, 007 is a combination of division customer, and so on. So until now, so this number has now changed. The top that you are seeing is 001. It is access sequence, not access. The access are within this access sequence. Just for everyone's update.
Yeah. So what about this access sequence? We were able to create as much as we want, right?
They are 4 digits. So you can, within Z namespace, you can create as many you want. It is still like condition type, access sequence, or any other thing that you can, like pricing procedures or sales order types, item categories, anything that you created in Z namespace so far.
Okay, but Nipin, do you think that this is useful? Because 99 I think is more than sufficient, right? Earlier also?
Yeah, I would have asked this question. Actually, believe it or not, I have seen until like 67, 68 as the maximum number of accesses. But with it, even with like 15 or so accesses, the performance is a big hog. I'm not sure what is the idea behind having 999. Maybe they are thinking that it is going to be much faster, so it doesn't matter. Like customers were constrained a lot of times, so I have no idea why they have increased this to
Go
900.
to new entries once. Go to new entries once and see how many digits it is. Okay.
Yes, we can enter up to 999.
Yeah,
But normally speaking,
this
yeah,
was limited to 99 before.
okay. I think even in my experience also, as you said, the number of access sequences or number of the this fields, normally it is not more than in my company currently which we are using, it is around 45 to 50. But normally if we go beyond that, if you, as you said, in the current ERP, definitely it creates problem because the data is currently updated in the cluster table. But now when they are saying that the data will be updated directly into the transparent table, and definitely due to this, they have given the option that you can now enter up to 999 fields.
Yeah, I don't know where the actual usage would be. There are industries, there could be some companies who would use it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I never found this as a constraint earlier. So I don't know about this.
This is just the additional flexibility they are giving.
Yeah, or
So
maybe
even if in
for
the
future
future, if
scalability or some customers might have complained about this. Just like formulas and routines too. Like formulas and routines, what I was reading are limited to 3 digits right now, and now I think they have made it to 5 digits. And I'm not sure if you covered that or not. So that is also another key change there.
you mean to see the routings.
Yeah, the pricing formulas and pricing routines that you can add in pricing procedures for custom calculations, they have until now the formula number can only go into 3 digits, like 999 can be the max.
So are you talking about the 1602 or 1511?
I'm talking about 1511.
Okay, let me check this thing. So definitely, if this is something new, definitely that should be also covered.
Yeah, check that.
Okay.
So yeah, that I have found as a constraint lot of times, that formulas, we run out of formula numbers. So changing from 3 to 5 digits would certainly open up a lot of opportunities.
Right.
But this one I'm not sure how we can use it in future, but we'll see.
Okay, so let me come up with that particular topic also, like why exactly they are changed. As you said earlier, there was a constraint, but what are the other options that you need to do if you want to go ahead with these routings and all? Okay. Okay, so this is about definitely if you have some more topics that you think that they are changed from the SD point of view and you want to discuss it more in this session, you definitely just go through the SAP, configure the things and come up with any doubts that you have in sales and distribution point of view. But at this point of time, I remember there are 3 topics that are written. One is the output determination you want to see in billing. Second thing you want to see is sales order fulfillment cockpit, and third thing, as Naveen said, we want to see the routings also, how they are going to work in SD. If you have anything else that you want to see in the SD point of view, even from MM point of view, whatever we missed something, you can definitely come back and we will have this discussion on that also. Okay, so as I told you yesterday, after completing this SD, at least we should have some bigger session, and that is the reason we should talk something theoretically also regarding so I just included some of the slides from the PS point of view now. So PP has not taken because PP I want to show you directly something in the system directly instead of talking on the theoretical part. So PS is something which is everything is on paper as of today. Okay, so if you see any changes which are relevant to PS, talking about simple logistics, they are all on paper, which means currently all the functionalities which are existing functionalities, they are working, but in future what are the different things which are going to be available and what are the different things which are going to be removed from the existing PS functionality. And most of the functionalities actually are going to be removed and there will be the substitute of that functionality. But as of today, SAP is just saying that this functionality will not be available and there will be the replacement available for this functionality in the target architecture. But what will be the replacement, that is still not available because as of today, the old functionality is still working. So once the replacement is available, then only they will talk about deleting the or removing the existing functionality. And what are these functionalities? Let's see in the next slide. So talking about the changes in production system, let's start off from the maintenance of transactions or transaction maintenance, which means if you know in PS we maintain different master data. For example, we create various projects, we create various WBS elements. So for all these different transactions, we have different transaction codes. Let me show you in SAP directly. So if you see the master data here, not here, sorry. See, create project. Okay, so you have CJ27 for creation of project, change project, display project. So 3 transaction codes only for displaying the project. Similarly, if I just show you the maintenance function, creation of WBS element, creation of project definition, there are different transaction codes, okay, available for creation of the main project or creation of the WBS elements. But now what SAP is suggesting is instead of using all these different transaction codes, there will be a single transaction code which will be available in the target architecture, and that will be CJ20N. So this CJ20N, using this transaction code, you can perform all the maintenance activity of creation of project, changing of project, displaying a particular project, displaying the WBS element, creating the WBS element. Most of the things related to the maintenance of project structure you can directly do from CJ20N. Okay, so currently, as I told you, in PS it is all in plan. So currently, as we can see in the screen, in the SAP screen also, all these transactions are still available. But going forward, everything will be removed and there will be only one transaction for maintenance of all the different project structure, and that will be only CJ20N. Okay, so that is exactly what it is stated here. There are currently multiple partially redundant transactions to maintain projects. In the target, it's a target to have one single maintenance transaction in future. Which is that transaction? It is going to be CJ20N. Okay, these transactions are still available with SAP S/4HANA on-premise edition, but they are not in the target architecture, which means going forward, these transactions will be removed. And because there is no replacement required for this, because the replacement is already available, CJ20N. So in that case, it is very much possible that even in the next version itself, you will not find all these maintenance transactions anymore, which are available in PS. Okay, so from maintenance point of view, the solution is already available. So they can straight away remove these transactions, and the only transaction which will be available is CJ20N. Talking about planning board, Gantt charts, hierarchy, and network graphics. So as you know, in current PS system, you have the option of creating various graphs. Okay, so all these graphs are not going to be supported in the future, and there will be the new user interface which will be available for showing you all these graphs. Are you able to see the PPT? I don't think so.
No, can't see a PPT.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, can you see now?
Yes.
Okay, so whatever graphs you were able to see in the project system, that graphs is also not going to be available in the next version. So currently, again, this is again the same thing. Currently, whatever you were able to see, you will be able to see in 1511. But in the target architecture, all these graphical functionalities of all these charts, they will be removed, and the available whatever will be the replacement for that, that will be available in the future. So they clearly said that it will be replaced in future by new graphic user interface pattern, but this is still not available. So till the time this is not available, you will be using the same functionality which is available in PS. Okay, so as I told you, most of the functionalities, like you can see in the project simulation also. So even in the simulation is what? Simulation means before you create a project, you want to create a dummy project which you want to simulate, so that it's like let's say you are creating the budget and you are creating the timelines for a particular project. So instead of updating the direct project, what you do in the earlier phases, you create a simulation project and then you create the final project. But this is again one of the functionality that is again going to be replaced by the new functionality, which means project simulation will not be available in the next versions. Any questions? I think somebody's unmuted his mic. Okay, so this project simulation is one thing. We are going to see all these things. So this is just for the theoretical purpose I am taking this. I'll show you how exactly this was working earlier and how exactly this is going to work even in new system. Obviously what is not available we cannot see, but we'll at least see how it was working earlier, and if it is replaced, what will be the options available wherever it is applicable. Archiving transactions. So there are different archiving transactions for PS. So let's say you want to archive a particular project or you want to archive a particular WBS element. So there are different archiving functions which are already available in PS. But going forward, for archiving there will be only one centralized transaction that is SARA. SARA is a transaction which is normally used for performing all the different types of archiving functionalities. So going forward, the transaction codes which are available only from the project system point of view to perform the archiving, that is not going to be available, and only the transaction that will be available, that is going to be SARA. Again, this is still available, but in the next versions they are planning to remove this. So this is very much possible. Like in the next version, because the replacement is already available, they can remove all the archiving functionalities for PS. Okay. Similarly, planning, date planning. So one of the major activity in project system is to make sure that your milestones are completed on time. So you need to be very careful on giving the starting date and the end date, and to perform forecasting. There are a lot of functions that you perform in the project system. And normally you have different type of transactions that you use to make sure your dates are entered properly. Okay, so there are different transactions which are available to only maintain the dates for a particular project, for a particular WBS element. But going forward, as we discussed, there is a centralized transaction CJ20N from where you can maintain each and everything. So you don't need a separate transaction to maintain the dates. This is again, the transactions is going to be removed. The functionality is already available in CJ20N. Even today also, if you are not using simple logistics, let's say in ECC also, you have two options. One is you maintain the dates from the normal transactions which are available for date maintenance, or you can directly go on to CJ20N and you can maintain the dates from there. So going forward, only CJ20N will be available, while all the other transactions which are available for planning of dates, that are going to be deleted. I think these are some of the important topics in PS. Let me see if there is something which is missing in PS also, and let's start doing these things from the PS point of view in the system from next session onwards. And if definitely if the updates to earlier topics which are remaining, like sales order cockpit and output management, this is available by the next week, definitely we'll try to cover that first, and then we'll talk about PS. Any questions?
In 1602 version, is there any major changes from the home side?
Subramaniam, your question is not clear. Your voice is not clear, sorry.
I mean to say, in 1602 version, is there any major changes from MM side?
1602, there are not much changes from the MM and ST side, but definitely we'll take one session, whatever are the minimum changes that are happening. So once we complete this 1511, we'll have the overview on 1602 also. So whatever are the small number of changes which are applicable, we'll talk about that also.
Gaurav, one question, I think it's a basic one, but since the PS is in the S4HANA, there are some integrations with CO, right? Like settlement and result analysis calculation. So how they will have impact in S4? Will they have in 1511 or maybe in simple finance we have to look for?
No, see, obviously the changes has been taken place in finance also. So whenever you are settling a particular project, or whenever you are interacting with PS with CO, the settlements profiles and all, there are some changes from the CO point of view also. And if you are talking about normal controlling, so let's say the settlement from cost collectors like production orders and all, that is also changed. Like only the transactions are new. Change means it doesn't mean the functionality has been changed. There are some improved simplified transactions which are available, using which you can perform the settlements.
So you meant to say that both we have impact in simple logistics as well as simple finance also, right, in this case?
Yes, definitely. Whatever, see, this both are integrated. So whenever you are talking about changes in simple logistics, if it is integrated with finance, wherever it is integrated, definitely there will be some impact on the controlling side also, or the finance side also. So as we discussed when we started off, we said that earlier when we were talking about materials document, whenever any material document was getting created. So it was updating MSEG and MKPF, but now it is updating MATDOC. So similarly in finance also there is a change. So it is updating ACDOC. Similar to this, see, it is not only because logistics has been changed. When you are talking about settlement, there is change because the change is already taken place in finance, in simple finance, for making the settlements. And this settlements has to be done in the way that it is done in simple finance now. So from project's point of view, from for example point of view, it is not asking the simple finance to change, but simple finance is already changed earlier. And that is the reason the settlement and all this will be happening in the new way now.
Okay.
So even if I talk about, let's say, when this project system was not available, or when the simple logistics was not available, even then also the settlement of project system, the settlement of WBS, settlement of all project collectors, that is happening in the better way, in the simplified way, rather than what is happening in ECC.
Okay. Can we also have one more session on the GTS? What are the changes that were evaluated in the S4HANA from GTS perspective?
You mean to say the global trade services?
Yeah.
Okay. So we discussed already that foreign trade, which was used earlier, now it has been replaced with global trade services. So I'll although not be able to give you the complete overview, but definitely if you want, we can have one session so that whatever we can do, because see, obviously it is a completely different module altogether, right? And I think it requires your separate component also. Is it possible? Do you think GTS is directly can be done in the server that we are using?
No, when I saw the PAM, that SAP, whatever the changes, delta changes, I saw that there are some changes from the GTS perspective also, and the target architecture from GTS 11, they mentioned that S4HANA 1511 can be the target architecture. So if anybody want to...
That we already discussed. See, what is the change? I'll tell you. Earlier we were using foreign trade services and GTS in combination, which means if the customer wants to use foreign trade services, he can use that. If he don't want to use that, he can use GTS. And we discussed that 95% of the customers already using GTS, right?
Yes.
I think in that session we discussed this. So now going forward, this foreign trade is going to be replaced. It is going to be completely removed. So the only option which is available to the customers, it is going to be GTS. But apart from this, there are no major changes directly in GTS. Whatever functionality was available in GTS, the same functionality is available. Only thing is, that is the only solution which is going to be available starting from simple logistics. So no foreign trade is available now.
No, I saw there are some changes from the material master perspective also. I think their legal control tabs and ECC and ICC numbers are removed from the S4HANA. So those will be directly...
Definitely that controls will come only when you activate that component, right? Global trade services. And to activate that component, do you think I need to check. Do you think global trade services is on the same server? I think it is a completely different, it is like a SRM and CRM component.
Yeah, the server is different. So the data, the feeder system will be, right now it's a R3 system, ECC system. But in the S4HANA, whether it will be the simple logistic system or it can be directly within the S4, I'm not sure. That part I'm not clear.
No, see, because as I discussed earlier, global trade services is a component which takes data from multiple sources, right? So it is not only that the current system that you are using, it will transfer the data to GTS. GTS can take the data from multiple sources, even from non-SAP systems also. So in that way, you need to set up a separate client for that if you want to work on that particular component.
Okay.
Right. Maybe theoretically we can cover, but I don't know if we can be able to cover in this server, because obviously we are facing the common issues in this server. So I don't know what kind of issues we can expect in GTS. But definitely if you want, we theoretically point of view, whatever are the changes, like you are saying in the material management, that is also we can discuss. That is not an issue.
Gaurav, Gaurav, this, just a general question. This GTS is separate server. I am thinking it's a part of ECC.
No, see, it is like we discussed about credit management, right, yesterday. So what we said, it is part of FSCM. It is very much available in the same system, but it is capable of taking the data from multiple sources. What it means is, it is not only taking the data from the same server that you are using. Internally, it is taking the data from different servers, even from the non-SAP systems, and that is exactly why GTS is used over foreign trade, because foreign trade can work only on your system, only on the system that you are running. But global trade services can take the data from all different authorities also. From the legal point of view also, it is capable of submitting the legal documents. It is capable of handling all the different legal requirements. So all these things are only possible when you are collecting the data from multiple sources.
Yeah, but the box is same box, right? Unlike,
It can be different. Yeah, see, it can be different. It can be same.
but unlike SRM and CRM or any other APO and all, they are different boxes. But
Yes.
what I am thinking is, my thinking is, it is within ECC GTS is.
Okay, let me check this one, because I have not worked directly on GTS but whatever are the changes we will discuss during this session.
Okay. No, just for understanding. Is it within
Yeah.
ECC or separate box? That is the question. Yeah.
See, I have seen this GTS being used in the system also, and it is also possible to use as a separate box also. I'll tell you why. If you are taking the data from multiple sources, so which system we will keep as a source system, or sorry, target system? So the first option is you keep the system that is, for example, the system which is placed at headquarters. This will be taking the data from all different countries. At the same time, you can keep the separate server which is taking the data not only from the other countries but from also the source country. Okay, so both the combinations are possible, but definitely we'll see exactly what this is. Okay, so let's meet next week with possibility, if possible, the topics that we need to see in SAP, and obviously once they are done, we'll talk about the next things related to project systems and related to production planning. And then obviously we need to discuss about migration. That is also very important topic. So I know we are getting delayed, but understand there is a lot of issues we are getting from the server. So even if we exceed the timeline that is of 20 hours, no need to worry about that. I want to make sure that everything is understood by you, everything is seen in the system. That's the reason I'm not only covering the theoretical part. I need to concentrate also on understanding how exactly it happens in the system also.
Gaurav, migration topic will be discussed next week, or no, it will be?
No, not next week. First of all, we complete all the greenfield point of view. So we'll talk about PP, PS. These are something which are remaining. Even from MM and SD point of view, there are 1 or 2 topics which we need to see in the system. So we'll complete all these things first, and then only we'll talk about migration. Okay then, bye. See you next week. It will be on same time, so 6 o'clock on next Saturday.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Thank you. Bye.